on winning football games as you do and do throughout the years. When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing group come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes, because there's only one thing that counts. Just win.
Welcome to another episode of the 2-for-1 Nation podcast, man. You already know I'm one of your hosts, SC Raiders Talk, and my boy, man, my co-host right here, Raider Twuan in the motherfucking building. What's good, Twuan?
Hey, what's good? Y'all know what it is. 2-for-1 Nation podcast, two bros from one nation. And you guys know there's only one nation, and that's the Raider Nation. Blessings to everybody out there.
Shout out to everybody, man. Sorry for the little lateness, but we here. You feel me? We still here. We active. You know, some news broke down today, that just happened, I would say, not that long ago, to be honest. Like, I would say couple times. So, shout out to everybody in here, man. Hopefully, everybody's having a beautiful, beautiful week. Shout out to everybody that is in here so far. Let me shout out who's here. Shout out to Aces. What's good? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Shout out to Wild Turkey in the building. What's good, Wild Turkey? Raider Paul, salute. SoCal Sal in the building, salute. Good to see you guys, man. Hope all is well. Shout out to Gord Peterson in the building. What's good, Raider Ben? What's good, Raider Ben? The Dark in the building. What's good, Dark? Good to see you. Richard Lyon in the building. What's good? Draft Jake May or Bo next. We'll talk about it right now, which actually, heads up for everybody, right? The Senior Bowl's on Saturday. I will be live for that, 10 a.m., which is, pretty early, but we're gonna be there. But let's first go to some news, man. First of all, Twuan, how you feeling, man? How you feeling in general, man?
Man, I can't complain. It's getting cold. You know what I'm saying? It's getting cold in these streets out here, so you got to bundle up. Hey, make sure y'all wearing a jacket out there. I don't want y'all to be catching pneumonia in places that you shouldn't be getting pneumonia. Just like.
Shout out to Alex. What's good, Alex? Good to see everybody coming in here, man. And of course, like I said, there's a lot of things going down. You feel me? So far, no coordinators, but there is something that got announced today, and let's just get straight into some Raider news. You feel me? The most interesting one today, by Florio. Obviously, the Raiders are bringing in Marvin Lewis as their assistant head coach. Man, how are you feeling about this, Twuan? Marvin Lewis joins the staff team.
Hey, you know what? It's news, but it's not surprising to me. We've seen Marvin Lewis in the building, and it was just like, what was his title going to be, if obviously they're saying that he's going to be the assistant head coach, which is perfectly fine. You have, someone who's a seasoned head coach, that has been a season coach in this league, and you have a rookie, head coach, also in AP. So having him there, kind of it's almost in the situation of, yes, AP's in charge, but Marvin Lewis is also that mentor to him, as he's going along in process. So I like it. And I said this in regards to AP. My hopes for AP is that he surrounds himself, especially since he's a younger coach, head coach, to surround himself with people that can pretty much hold their own if things are not, you know, going well. So it definitely surround yourself with good people, and I think that's what he's doing.
And that's perfect, right? Because a lot of people say, oh, some people had a little bit of, I guess you could say, withdrawals from Antonio Pierce because of his lack of time management and certain like head coach traits, right? And now bringing in people that are actually like Marvin Lewis that have this experience in that department, it kind of benefits him, right? Sometimes you hear the phrases of, oh, this person complements my weaknesses, and I will complement their weaknesses, my strengths accommodate for their weaknesses and stuff like that. That's how it is with that, right? Obviously, um, Antonio Pierce is doing everything he can to make sure that he has the perfect path to make sure this team is going into the right direction, right? So obviously for Marvin Lewis, somebody like Marvin Lewis, I'm all for it. I'm not mad at it. Nobody should be mad at it. This helps our team more. As much as people don't think it is, it is. Not only is it going to help Antonio Pierce, but it's going to help the team around him too. Having another head coach type guy, you feel me, go out there and did that. So obviously there's a lot of things to go down around this. There's still going to be more people that's going to add on to the staff team. Obviously the coordinators are still a question mark. Obviously, and we'll talk about the offensive coordinator right now in a bit. But obviously there's still a lot of rumors surrounding even other head coaches coming in, somebody like Coughlin and other people that could join the staff team. So you know, at the end of the day, we're building, and I hope they continue to build and bringing people like this to the table. So, um, you feel me? Let me get to some of the comments that I see coming in here. What's good, Lakers at 5? What's good, Lakers at 5? Egalitarian. Good to see you guys in here, man. Hope all is well. Marvin Lewis. Let me see. Let me see. I'm just trying to get to the comments, make sure I don't get anything. Yeah, breaking news for Marvin Lewis. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So obviously he's the assistant head coach, which is interesting, right? I don't even think we had an assistant head coach last year, right? We didn't even have one, so it's gonna be that I could think of. So it's gonna be an interesting little, I guess you could say, duo.
That's a good question. Now you got
I
me
don't think we
thinking.
did.
I think we did, but it was just someone so random that you just didn't.
Didn't even think.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Apparently we are looking at a Buccaneers quarterback coach for OC. I mean, their quarterback coach, I don't know their name, obviously. Like, I don't know the quarterback coach there. I'm not going to, cap to you guys or lie to you guys that I know it. But obviously what he did with Baker Mayfield is pretty interesting, right?
I want to say
Um,
it was a special teams coach.
what's it?
I, yeah, my mind is racing on that right now. I really think it was like the special teams coach or something like
Yeah,
that. It was like a random like, yeah, you're the assistant, whatever. But
got you.
yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't even think of it, bro. I don't.
whatever.
Yeah. Uh, He says, salutes to everybody. Sorry I'm late. Now you good, man. I was late myself. So shout out to you, True Raider. Good to see you, man. Hope all's well. The only reason I think we ain't got an OC yet, because he's still coaching. Hint, hint. Chiefs or 49ers coach. I mean, that could be a possibility. And we'll talk about it right now. Obviously the coordinator thing. Shout out to Cool Kev in the bit. It was good, Cool Kev. But if you're just missing it, just joining us, obviously, Marvin Lewis as our assistant head coach. Marvin Lewis joins the staff team. We already knew there was ties with Marvin Lewis. The question was exactly how Twuan said it. Where is he going to be on the staff team? A coordinator, a position coach, or is he going to be somebody that, obviously would have a big role? So that's exactly what happened.
A lot of this is going to be very foreign to all of us because this and it's kind of actually a good thing,
Yeah,
because we haven't had structure like this, you know what I'm saying, and I think that's what AP is kind of establishing. Of course he's a younger coach, and yeah, like I said, it looks like he's trying to put people around him. So I think this is just a way for Marvin Lewis to officially be in the building, on the books, and all of that, because we know that Marvin Lewis was a mentor to AP. even in his interim process. So I think this is how they officially, titled it, almost similar to what we did with Champ Kelly. You know what I'm saying? We never heard of an assistant GM until Champ Kelly came in here. You know what I'm saying? So they made a position, or move some things around just to bring somebody in. And I think that might be the situation with Marvin Lewis. Marvin Lewis, yeah, that yeah. There's a lot of ways that AP can say, hey, I need you to help out here, or you take care of that while I go do that. So that might be also how he may be deployed. We'll definitely see.
Facts. And shout out to everybody, man. We're lucky to have Champion. He'll be a GM next year. Yeah, obviously he's still staying, and that's a good thing, right? That's a really good thing to know. Hopefully there's too many Chiefs, not enough. What? Hopefully there's too many Chiefs. Oh, I talked about Chiefs coming here. Yeah, you feel me? I don't even want to get started with the Chiefs and Niners, bro, because I'm. Uh, I mean, nobody cares. Probably the NFL wouldn't care either. But I'm gonna say either way. Like, I'm not watching that Super Bowl. This is probably gonna be the first year I don't watch the Super Bowl. I just can't watch it, bro. I can't. I can't watch that shit, bro. The worst possible outcome has happened, and it's a slap to the face to us. So fuck that.
You know what? Don't worry about it. Let me help everybody here in the Raider Nation. You know what you can be a fan of? Guess what? You watch the Super Bowl. You know why? You can be a fan of our pockets. Why? Because both teams that we hate, guess what they're gonna have to do? They're gonna have to pay that money when they get in there. They can go ahead and drink up all of our Hennessy, all of our Ciroc in the club. You know what I'm saying? Go to the concession, buy 20 boxes of popcorn. Go ahead and do all that. Because guess what? Y'all a fan of the Niners, y'all a fan of the Chiefs, but guess what? We a fan of our pockets, and our pockets are getting fatter because y'all are in the Super Bowl.
Money is coming into our pockets. That is that is a good thing, right? No, I am saying hopefully AP doesn't have too many people in his headspace telling him what to do with the new hires. Oh, I feel that. Okay, I get you now. Obviously, I don't think it's gonna happen because he has worked hand in hand with Marvin Lewis before. I think it's like more of a compatibility type. Like it's not like one of those hires like, oh, that guy has experience. Let me just bring him in and help me out. It's a guy that he's been pretty much have chemistry with, which is good, right? Chemistry. It's all about chemistry in a lot of these, um, you know, football teams and just in general. When you have chemistry, you could look like the best team out there every single day. So, obviously, AP and Marvin Lewis are a guy that has compatibility there.
And there's different ways of actually running a team. Unfortunately we've been in situations where we saw where there was one guy and he was trying to do everything, a la McDaniels, a la Gruden. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that a whole lot where I'm the guy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to have 8 different arms coming out of one, you know what I'm saying, like an octopus, and try to do everything at one time. That's not the way it looks. The way that AP's trying to run things, it's not going to be that way. He's literally putting people in place and delegating, this is what I want done. And if it's not getting done, then obviously he puts his foot down and says, hey, you gotta go, or let me go sit in your room and figure out why you ain't getting this done. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things like it, and that's honestly, that's where I would like it for it to be, where AP is just telling the defensive coordinator, hey, I want you to blitz. Hey, offensive coordinator, hey, today, I know that we've been passing the ball a lot, but this game I need you to run the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things that the head coach delegates to his guys and make sure those things are done. So I think that's kind of the leadership that AP's trying to set up, where he's not having to do everything, where all he has to do is, when he's out there, make sure he's calling the proper timeouts, make sure, he's working with the team up in the booth to make sure he's throwing the flag when he needs to throw the flag, and all of that part, which makes it easier in the game process.
Yeah. That's a fact. And let me see. Shout out to EJ. EJ in the building. What's good, EJ? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody coming in here, man. I can't go for the quiz. It's in my DNA. Fuck the quiz. I feel that, man. Shout out to everybody coming in here, though, man. Blessings to you guys and your families, man. I appreciate you guys being here, man. If you guys can't hit that like button, help out the algorithm. It'll help a lot. Also subscribe if you're new. But obviously, if you're just joining us, like I said, Marvin Lewis is gonna be our assistant head coach, a head coach guy coming in as assistant head coach to help out, obviously, Antonio Pierce. Now, on to the next big question, right? The next offensive coordinator is question mark, and I want everybody to let me know what they feeling like to finish that sentence. But Twuan, I'm gonna let you finish the sentence first. Next offensive coordinator is
not Bo Hardegree.
I know, right?
And that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying this, and some people have watched that video. Shout and I'll explain that video later. But yeah, I'm good with all of them. All the names that are coming out, I'm fine with it because I think it just a basic competent offensive coordinator comes in here with what we have, fixes a few things, and we're off and running. I really do believe that with what we have on paper. So I'm fine with anybody, to be honest with you, as long as they're better than Bo Hardegree. And like I said, the names that are coming out, they're all fine with me.
As a fact, and you guys see on my thumbnail, if you're on my channel, there's three names there, right? Obviously you have Cliff Kingsbury, right? You have Kubiak, right? The Niners, I think it's like something with the Niners. I forgot what it was. And then obviously the emerging one out of nowhere, the rumors, the rumor mill, and it's good to talk about it, right? It's Chip Kelly. Everybody's familiar with Chip Kelly. That's another one. Um, but obviously they've been waiting for quite some time. I mean, look at how long they're waiting for an offensive coordinator. The defensive coordinator hasn't been announced either, which all things are leading into, um, obviously Patrick Graham coming back. Like it's looking like that, right?
Mm.
Um, so we're gonna see what happens, right? He says Arthur Smith has been signed by, I believe, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers have gave him a shot, so he's on the Steelers now. I will say that. Um, Shout out to everybody, man, joining us. I see a couple people joining us, man. Shout out to Thrash in the building. What's good, Thrash? Randy in the building. What's good? Good to see you guys, man. Hope all is well. Good to see everybody in here, man. So for me personally, I've been a fan of Cliff Kingsbury. I've been obviously a Cliff Kingsbury fan. Some people don't like him. For me, it was like I looked at his head coach resume and I looked at his offensive mindset, right? And his offensive mindset was really good. At the end of the day, he helped Kyler Murray win the Rookie of the Year. Kyler Murray was looking pretty good. They were top 10 in offense in both scoring and efficiency in the following years, and it always rise. The one time where they messed up completely was when Kyler Murray got the season-ending injury, and that's when they had one of their worst seasons. But their offense was still pretty high there, right? They lost people like Barry Fitzgerald, stuff like that, retired, stuff like that, obviously, and all that downhill stuff, right? All them injuries and so, obviously for me, um, that's a guy that I think I'll be cool with. A guy that uses a mobile quarterback. Everybody always raves about we need mobility. We need mobility in today's NFL. We need a quarterback that could go out the pocket and run. Oh yeah, but well, Cliff Kingsbury would be one of those offensive coordinators that would work hand in hand with a quarterback like that. So for me, obviously Cliff Kingsbury is a guy that I would say next offensive coordinator is Cliff Kingsbury. Uh, but obviously, there's a lot of things to think of, right? Shout out to Pizzo in the building. What's good, Pizzo? Good to see Raider. Oh, good to see PG doesn't need to be announced. He is already the DC. Hey, I like that, man. As long as he's still here, I'm all for it. There's rumors of him leaving, and I'm glad he's here.
And let me say this in regards to the offensive coordinators. I feel like A lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth because of how things happen for some of these guys that were looking for offensive coordinator when they were a head coach. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the things that I had a huge issue in regards to McDaniels was he's a really good offensive coordinator, but he can't be an offensive coordinator and a head coach at the same time. He can't juggle that. Like I just talked about people having a whole bunch of hands and trying to do everything at one time. That's what McDaniels was doing. And because he was trying to do everything, he wasn't able to handle what he's really known for, which was his offense. And some of these guys, like, people talk bad about Chip Kelly. Some people talk bad about Kingsbury, and they talk about Kingsbury and Chip Kelly all bad in the sense of what they did as a head coach.
Yeah.
Guess what? They're not going to have to do that if they come here. All they're going to have to do is focus on the offense. So if you can change your glasses a little bit and really like SC did, focused on how they were as an just kind of cut when they were being an offensive coordinator and when they were actually being a head coach. And you'll figure out, okay, maybe Kingsbury isn't as bad as people have been saying. Maybe Chip Kelly really wasn't as bad as people were saying. It was just sometimes, again, they're trying to juggle the offensive coordinator position and the head coach, and some people just can't do that.
Yeah. Obviously, Clint Kubiak's another one, Randy. On my thumbnail, I put him there because he's a candidate too. They could be waiting for him, right? Obviously, he's in the Super Bowl, so who knows, right? That's another name, right? Shout out to Sebastian Gonzalez. I like all the news of the OC list so far. I do too, man. They have all one thing in common, right? They're offensive minds that know how to coordinate, and the other one is they're better than both. So they're 10 times better than both. So obviously, there's things to look at it, and let me see what else there is. Let me catch up to the chat real quick. Shout out to everybody that's in here, man. Hopefully, hey, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Good to see the 50 plus people in here, man. I appreciate you guys being here on this Thursday. You feel me? Afternoon, or if you're international, this Friday morning. Shout out to you guys across the seas as well. I'm not convinced McDaniels is even a good offensive coordinator. Edelman said they ran their own plays. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of players that had mixed feelings, right? Some players gave him a lot of credit. Other players said he's absolutely garbage. There was a lot of there was a lot of contradicting things, but for me, I always believe people. Like, I know people hated on me. I remember this too specifically when Brandon Marshall. If you guys remember when Brandon Marshall came out with the interview, right, when he was on the podcast or something, he was talking about Josh McDaniels, and then I said something about Josh McDaniels. I was like, "Hey, that's 100% believable. Like, that makes sense." People were like, "Are you dumb? You're believing what Brandon Marshall says. He's a cuckoo head, blah blah blah. He's all he does is cause drama. There's a reason why he didn't work out over there. It wasn't Josh McDaniels' fault, blah blah blah." And then me, I had to get a little, you feel me, a little bit like, okay, you know what? It is what it is. That's your guys' opinion. My opinion is, hey, Brandon Marshall was right. And what happened? Brandon Marshall was absolutely right on what exactly happened. And now everybody looks dumb for arguing with me over something that looked really real. So, that was a feeling of like, bro, it just makes sense. You guys always have to look at the context around all these different things, right? The way people move, the way people say things, the way people execute things, they all come into one thing, and it's the result. And the result was him getting fired, and exactly what we all thought was the truth that we didn't want to accept, right?
And a lot of, and even with the McDaniels situation, when you hear people talking bad about McDaniels, a lot of it was, if you listen to the context of it, a lot of it was dealing with him being a head coach. It had nothing to do with him being an offensive coordinator. So if it was the offensive coordinator situation or certain things in regards to the offense, then they would say a lot of things regarding that. But a lot of the people really out there bashing, like the Marshall and all that, they were all talking about him as how he handled things as a head coach. So you can take that or leave it the way, however you want to take that for yourself.
Back. Shout out to Raider. Oh, he says this OC hire will be huge. I just want a coach who coaches and adjusts to his players' strengths instead of being hard-headed and stick it to one system. That's a fact, Raider O. And all these guys do that. That's the good thing. That's the beauty of this list, right? There's no wrong answer. And shout out to Chuck the Jedi, man. Long time. Salute Eric Twuan and everyone in the chat, man. Chuck, a long time no see, man. Good to see you here.
Good to see you,
Hope
man.
all is well. The Raiders has the talent to run some offense as the Niners. I mean, look at the Niners, right? I hate the Niners with a passion, right? I hate the Chiefs. I don't know. I hate the Chiefs more. Obviously, I'm from SoCal. So if anybody's asking, like, oh, are you from Northern California, Southern California? I'm from Southern California. I'm SoCal, LA, whatever. So for me, I have my little, hatred towards certain teams. Obviously, I do hate the Niners. One third of my family is Niner fans, so it's annoying. And then obviously I hate teams like the Cowboys. I especially hate the Chiefs, especially with this whole Taylor Swift shit going on.
Ah,
I can't believe, man. I don't want to say too much, bro, but a lot of every time I go on the NFL and Bleacher Report, it's just Taylor Swift, man. Which it is what it is, man. I seen that coming, right? And then obviously you had people like the Chargers, right? That's starting to get annoying. Rams fans annoying. Um, Cowboy fans who hella annoying. So there's a lot of things to look at there. So for me, obviously, as much as I hate it, the Niners have a good blueprint. And what I mean is, they could shove any quarterback back there, and they're still a good team. They shoved in Brock Purdy. Look at where they're at. They shoved in Jimmy Garoppolo. Look where they ended up. Bro, they put even Trey Lance, and they were still winning games. Like if that don't show you how a team being built around a quarterback is, I don't know what to say because everybody always says you need a quarterback. You need a quarterback. No, you need a decent quarterback, and you need a great team. And that's exactly what these goddamn San Francisco 49ers be doing all the fucking time, bro. I hate it. I hate it, but it's reality. It's reality, y'all. Like I hate it, but it's reality of build the team no matter what. Me and Twan always say it. Build the team no matter who's back there, bro. Because you can even make Brian Hoyer look like Joe Flacco the way he did, bro. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous.
Hey, you'll have Terrence looking like Tom Brady.
Hell yeah! Shout out to D Menace. Was good, D Menace. Good to see you. Hop ball as well. He said Eric is sitting on the new high chair. God damn, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Shout out to everybody coming in here, man. Blessings to you guys are in families, man. Shout out to Joel E in the building. Good to see everybody in here, man. I hate KC. I live in Miami, so I don't have that hate for San Francisco. I feel that, man. We all got hate for different teams depending on where we're from, obviously. For me, it's fuck.
You probably are, Terrence. I'm sorry.
All these things here in how do I say this, all these things here in this Super Bowl I hate so much, bro, but hey, you know what, uh I'm probably still gonna make money. You feel me? I'm not gonna give a shout out to what I use because they need to sponsor me, but sponsor your boy. You know what sports betting app you are? It's all about over and under. If you guys can't sponsor me, sponsor your boy, man. I just hit 2K, man. Come on, sponsor your boy right here, man. Let me give out codes out here. But shout out to everybody that's coming in here. Obviously, man. Good to see you guys, man. So obviously, for me, next offensive coordinator for me is obviously Cliff. I think signs are leaning towards Cliff. I think we might get an offensive coordinator. What is it? Thursday? I would say by early next week. I mean, the Super Bowl is. Oh, the Super Bowl's in 2 weeks, huh? It's the Pro Bowl, then the Super Bowl. I forgot about the Pro Bowl, bro. The Pro Bowl I think is this weekend. But another thing too is the Senior Bowl. I seen somebody talk about an offensive lineman from the draft earlier. I kind of skipped over your comment. I'm sorry if that was you, but I like Fuaga from Oregon State. I do like him, but I like Joe Alt a lot from Notre Dame. As much as I hate Notre Dame, pushing my hatred towards Notre Dame aside, I like Joe Alt. I like the boy from Alabama, J.C. Lathman as well. Some offensive linemen to look at, and obviously Saturday, y'all. 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 to 1 p.m. Eastern. The Senior Bowl. I will be live for the Senior Bowl. It's a lot of notable names in there. Bo Nix is in there, y'all. He's gonna play again, so we get to see Bo Nix. He wants to rise his draft stock. Brandon Rice, one of my favorite wide receivers in the draft. Um, Obviously, and I knew Terrence was gonna say something. USC clowns. I knew he was gonna say something as a Notre Dame fan. But yeah, obviously, I like those people as well. Shout out to everybody that's in here, man. It looks like we are waiting for Kubiak. It could be that too, man, because the Super Bowl's in 2 weeks and we still haven't signed anybody. Shout out to Black and Grayed Out. Good to see you, man. Shout out to Graham Cam in the building. And sorry if I skipped over you, man, and I didn't salute you. Please, hey, type it again, man. I appreciate you guys, man. So obviously that's another notable thing. And then moving on here, some quick questions, right? Some quick questions in the rumor mill. Should the Raiders target Kirk Cousins? Twan, your answer.
Come on, cousin. Let's go. No, I'm saying, it's an option.
Mm-hmm.
It's an option, and to be honest with you, I as much as I would like for us to get a quarterback in the draft, we're gonna have to. It looks like we're gonna have to really move up to go get it. You know what I'm saying? To really go get that person. And yeah, so it is we're in a tough situation from where we are in our draft number to where we need to get to, and that might be an option. If we can't, say the top three. Let's just say the top three get picked before we can, or try to get up there and we couldn't get up there. Well, hey, what's the next best thing? Maybe we need to go ahead and get that offensive lineman. And if we go that route, we either gonna have to roll with O'Connell, or we're gonna have to grab one of these veterans, and hopefully they're not trying to come in here and try to, get us for an arm and a leg.
And shout out to everybody, man. Um, was Arizona potential trade just horseshit? Was Arizona? Yeah, it was just horseshit. I did see stuff like that. Shout out to everybody, man. Though, um, so obviously, you feel me? For me, screw Kirk Cousins. Me respectfully, I want to draft a quarterback, and that leads me to the next one. Which quarterback in the draft is someone you would pull the trigger on? You feel me? There's a lot of quarterbacks in the draft. There's some that you might have to go up and trade. Twuan, is there something that you would go up there and trade, or you would stay put and get somebody that you think would fall there?
There's something about Jaden Daniels. I'm over here digging in highlights and stuff like that, and tape, and but there's something about Jaden Daniels that I like. And but again, we have the question mark of what this offensive coordinator wants. Right? Because sometimes the offensive coordinator, Jaden Daniels, may not work with the offense coordinator. So, but yeah, if you ask me who I would go up and go get, it'll be Jaden Daniels. I'm not really too high on Caleb and Drake May. He's all right. I like him. He's not. Would I be mad if we got him? No. But yeah, if you ask me personally who I would really want, it would be Mr. Heisman Trophy.
Okay. And shout out to Chuck. He says Spencer is the only quarterback in the draft class who's transitioning from a pro style offense. That's going to be a pivotal in the evaluations. He might sneak up into the second round. And yes, if you guys don't know who he's talking about, Spencer Rattler. You guys may know him as the guy that Caleb Williams took his job at in Oklahoma and then left him. Obviously, Spencer Rattler's in this conversation as well in the whole draft. This draft class is deep in the quarterback position, man. And me personally, I've been looking at a lot of all 22 film, really breaking down all these quarterbacks, and I've been some of these quarterbacks, man, have been catching my eye big time. Somebody like Jaden Daniels obviously has been a guy that I've been advocating for as well. And then Michael Penix Jr. Say what you say about the national championship, that guy played with heart, man. At the end of the day, and he's still out there making the throws and stuff like that. His wide receivers were absolutely dropping every single catch that he was getting. So obviously he played good, and obviously I still got Caleb Williams up there. At the end of the day, say what you say. He didn't have the best of the season. Even with him not having the best of the season, he still had a pretty good season, and he did it with the team that wasn't really built. He had a good wide receivers. He had a good running back room. Not so good offensive line room, though. He lost some of his notable offensive linemen last year, and Andrew Vorst, that's a part of the Ravens now. A all-pro guy, Pac-12 all-pro, stuff like that. Also, the defense was 100th ranked. So you could make the most of that. So obviously, Caleb, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix are all guys that I'm looking at. For me, Jaden Daniels just screams Raiders. I don't know what it is, but at the same time, I have a little bit of PTSD, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Another LSU quarterback that we're all familiar with, that had similar like play style and as far as running the ball and stuff like that goes, and built as well, built being slim. So that is scaring me from Jaden Daniels. But I will say that Jaden Daniels is more of a accurate guy than that guy that I'm talking about. And you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Um, so obviously, there's a lot of quarterbacks in this draft class that are gonna get picked ahead of us. Drake May is somebody that might get picked in the top 10. A lot of people are projecting it. Drake May to me screams New England Patriots. I don't know what it is, if it's his name, but I think Drake May screams New England Patriots. And then obviously Caleb Williams. I mean, we got to see what Chicago does. I think Chicago makes or breaks this draft for us. If they trade away Justin Fields, we know they're going Caleb Williams number one, and that's going to be a quarterback off the draft board already at number one. If they don't give up Justin Fields, then obviously they might go wide receiver, offensive lineman, or trade back. So that's going to be an interesting one as well. And then
the
obviously, yeah, go ahead.
the question the I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm really trying to feel the vibe of the nation, and I'm like, are we gonna be mad if they don't draft a quarterback in the first round? Like if they say, you know what, we going up is gonna cost too much, maybe we do go with Cousins for a bridge gap, but we build. That means we got the offensive line set. We got everything that we need defensively. We picked up another safety, another linebacker. You know what I'm saying? We addressed everything else, but we just didn't get the starting quarterback of the future. Are we going to be mad? I'm asking, and you guys in the chat, let me know. Y'all going to be mad if we don't get the quarterback in the draft and we build everything else? Because there's still other pieces that we got to bring to this roster. We can talk about all the needs too, but are we going to be mad if we don't draft a quarterback? What do you think, SC?
It's tough, man. It's tough to say because it's like this quarterback class is so deep, but it's like where we're picking is somewhere where I wish we weren't picking, but at the same time, I never want to lose. People are saying, "Oh, just lose out. Let's get a higher draft pick." For me, I was never a guy of advocating to lose, man. That's just not our motto. It's just win, baby. At the end of the day, it's not just lose, right? So for me, obviously, I wanted to win, which we did, right? We beat the Broncos at the end. Um, and it put us in a position at 13th where it's interesting, right? Because you have four quarterbacks here that could easily go in the top 10. Um, Bo Nix, say what you say. If he continues to play in these senior bowls and do all these things, man, he's gonna keep rising his draft stock, bro. Because not only did he's one of the quarterbacks that didn't opt out of a bowl game and played put up a good performance, but also as a guy that opted into the Senior Bowl. And then who knows what else he's gonna do to try to rise his draft stock. I'm pretty sure he's gonna go to the combine, and then on top of that, I'm pretty sure he's gonna have his own pro day, and he's gonna do that too. So he's doing everything he can to get in that top 10. I could tell. That's another guy that could be in the top 10. It's a question of what are other teams gonna do in free agency, and what are they gonna do in general, and who's gonna trade up, who's gonna pull the trigger. Because one thing about Tom Telesco, our general manager, is he's not scared to trade. He is not scared to trade, bro. He will trade if it benefits him. So if the offensive coordinator, and if the obviously Antonio Pierce are on the same page and they say, hey, Tom Telesco, look at this quarterback right here in the draft. I think we have to trade up to get him. He could fit this system. But Tom Telesco is going to be like, hey, let me look into it. And, for me, I wouldn't be, to answer your question, to go back to your question, I would be a little mad just for the fact that, like, I love this quarterback class. Like, it's deep. It has a lot of potential, stuff like that. We need a young guy that could get out the pocket, maneuver, accurate the ball, and be very young and progress. but also, we have a quarterback here that, I say what you say, we know he has the potential. He's just not ready right now. But he
Mhm.
has the potential. Maybe all, there's a lot of possibilities, right? Maybe this offseason will do him good. Full off season of him saying, "Hey, go fight for your spot." And he already came out and said, "Hey, my mentality is I gotta keep my job. That's my
Mhm.
job. I gotta keep my job." So that mentality already is up there. So would I be fully mad? No, as long as you build the team, man. Like I said earlier, the blueprint's there. You build the team, a quarterback could look really good in that team. You just gotta build that team, man. And it starts with that free agency right before the draft, man. And I think this is gonna be really telling. Shout out to like everybody that's coming in here, man. I see some new faces walking in here. Shout out to Raider 77. We need depth, trade for Fields and trade down instead of up. Unless someone is worth it off at the tackle, defensive tackle, linebacker, cornerback. Shout out to everybody. Pizzo in the building. Shout out to Joel E. Shout out to Roman Trejo. Rather not get a quarterback here too much to pay to get a top 5 pick, man. Shout out to everybody in here. We need to build the trenches, build up. Caleb is from DC, so I could see him manipulating a scenario in his favor to go play with his hometown team. Man, shout out to Chuck the Jedi. Everybody walking in here. Julio Coolio. Um, he said opt out. He already got my vote. Shout out to everybody coming in here, man. Shout out to Raider Laker TDs. That's funny. Shout out to Raider. What's good? Good to see you. Just subscribe. What up though? What's good? What's good? Good to see you, man. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you subscribed. Good to see you. Hope all's well. Blessings. I'm not big on Bo Nix. He left the SEC to get away from the viable competition and still struggled in the Pac-12. Man, that's another one, right? I'm not a fan of Bo Nix either. Me personally. Shout out to Mark Carbone. Kubiak from San Francisco. That would be a notable one too. We kind of talked about earlier. They might be waiting for Kubiak. That's another possibility. So obviously, and another question here for everybody, man. Y'all let me know, and I'm gonna give it to Twan too, man. Are Raiders going into the right direction or the wrong direction?
I think we're going in the right direction.
Explain, explain.
I think we're actually, and I've been kind of saying it throughout this live is we're setting a structure, we're setting a foundation
Mhm.
that if we really do what we say we're doing, we'll be in a good place, and that's where I think we're going in the right direction. We and it and in perspective, we've been on the bottom for a while. So since we've been on the bottom for a while, are we going worse, or are we actually getting better? And I think we're getting better. So I think that's why I'm saying we're going in the right direction.
I feel that. So let's see what everybody got to say before I send mine. EJ says right for sure. Pizzle says wrong. Oh, explain, Pizzle. What you think? We will see after the draft, but it looks right so far. OC choice will not be a high profile name. 8 and 9 is a lot better than 6 and 11. So yes, right direction. Right direction. Playoff bound bet. Okay, okay. If we trade our picks wrong direction, no depth. Shout out to all eyes on G in the building was good. How many years are you going to give this coaching staff? Oh, that's an interesting question. That is a good question. I'm gonna say 2. I'm done with these 5, 10 year shits, bro. I'm giving 2, and even then, I'm expecting playoffs next season. I'm expecting that.
You it depends, because it depends on where they go. If they go with, like, say if they draft a rookie quarterback, right? And that rookie quarterback ends up being the starter, you know what I'm saying, for the team. You got to at least give that rookie a year. So that there goes 1 year.
Mhm.
So I would say 3 years to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because that means you're allowing that rookie quarterback his second year. At least, hopefully, that second year he's kind of already kind of got how things are supposed to be going. This defense, if Patrick Graham is still, Patrick Graham College, that defense has been together for what, 3-4 years now. So they should be knowing what they're doing, unless, obviously if we put some rookies out there, then obviously you won't have to deal with the rookie pain. But, the main pieces, most of those guys, they've been in this system, so they know what's expected defensively. All it is just making sure our offense is trucking along. So I would say 2 to 3 years.
Facts, man. Shout out to Raider. Always says, I feel like we are finally going into the right direction. We aren't far off, but we need to hit and draft the free agents. Speaking of free agency, y'all, believe it or not, if you release, I forgot what's the date. You guys probably know the date, the exact date. But if you release Jimmy Garoppolo and Hunter Renfrow, you could open up $25 million in cap space. Which
I think it's the June 1st.
January.
June 1st.
June 1st? Okay, June
Yeah.
1st. You release those two guys, you get $25 million. Which, say what you're saying, I know I'm a fan of Hunter Renfrow, bro. Jimmy Garoppolo could go. I don't give a fuck. That's a no-brainer. But Hunter Renfrow, I'm a fan of, but we gotta be realistic with ourselves, man. Like, he's just not what he was. I think a change of scenery is good for him. I think he needs a change of scenery. I think we need to finally let go. And this wide receiver class is really deep, so you could get one in the later rounds. Obviously, you don't need one in the first round. There's a lot of good talent there. Obviously, for me, I would be willing to release both of them, y'all. That would be 20. We already have 43 million. Now we add on 25 million. We could sign a lot of people back that could help us and sign some free agents that are notable and that are superstars that could help this team significantly. If you really break down this team, this whole offseason, we could really fix our whole team. All those positions that we need, we could literally complete them this offseason if you really look at it. If you really break down from the draft to the free agency to the cap space, all of that. So shout out to everybody, man. Raider Paul says, who you want to see? What are you talking about? Talk about offensive coordinator, head coach. What are you talking about, Paul? Good to see everybody in here, man. I agree. There's no reason to not think we can make the playoffs. That's a fact, man. We should make the playoffs next season. We should. And I know people are like, look at our schedule. Are you sure? I mean, yeah. If you look at it, oh wait, there's not the schedule. Where's the schedule at? Oh, I thought I had the schedule. Is this the schedule? No, it's not the schedule. I don't know where I put the schedule. I had the schedule before. I think I lost it. But there's a lot of notable playoff teams in that schedule, right? We
play. Oh, you talking about the home and away?
Yeah, there's the whole NFC South, right? That's the Saints, the Bucks, the Panthers, that are all gonna get better at the end of the day, right? And then you obviously got the AFC West, and then you also got, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's the Texas division, the Texans division, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. I gotta look it up real quick. Give me a second.
Yeah, because I remember we did that live, and I was like, man, good luck. Good luck. And I was just talking about the away games. Like the away games, I was like, man, good luck.
Oh, here you go. It's the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, so you obviously have Cincinnati Bengals, Tampa Bay, Ravens, Saints, Miami, Rams, and then obviously you got your home opponents, which is Carolina, Falcons, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Cleveland. All these teams have got better. Even the AFC West got better. So we got to get better. In every position, we got to get better. And we got to come out and hit them in the mouth, right? So we got to see what happens, right? In my opinion, if we need to trade the farm to get Caleb Williams, I say go for the big swing. We can't keep standing pat and not doing anything to win now. I think we're win now. I think we should win now. I think we should win now, bro. You feel me? So shout out to everybody, man. Hope all is well. Shout out to the 50 people in here, man. If you guys subscribe if you're new, hit that like button, man. We'll greatly appreciate it.
And I'm not saying I disagree or agree, but I'm just saying for the sake of conversation, who said we can't win with Kirk Cousins? You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like I put the scenario out there. What if we actually did build? What if we actually did solidify that offensive line and, you know what I'm saying, fix everything that we needed to do in the draft and free agency, and then all of a sudden we just got Kirk Cousins out there just to not, pretty much. I'm not gonna say to manage, be a game manager, but just don't be out there, throwing 40 picks. You know what I'm saying? Like just keep us in the game. We'll win games.
Me personally, I don't like Kirk Cousins.
And I'm not saying it specifically has to be a Kirk Cousins. It could just be a veteran. You know what I'm saying? As much as I don't like Russell Wilson, I said it. Okay, I said it on my channel, and I'm gonna go with it. I don't care. I don't care if they call Cam Newton and said, come over here, we're gonna give you a tryout.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like if they build this team like that, and that's the same. That's what we're looking at with the Niners. Team is built, and they have a half decent quarterback that's not making mistakes, and they're winning games. We could do the same thing. As much as people may not like that, you know what I'm saying? As much as I don't like what I'm saying right now, but there's plenty of ways in which we could navigate still winning games and still being competitive.
For me, obviously, that would be the ultimate last resort. I think I would choose Aiden O'Connell over those guys just because of the money wise with Kirk Cousins and his injury,
True.
and on top of that, then obviously Cam Newton is somebody that I think he should just stay with podcasting. I think that's where his career should be, and that's where I think he should stay. But for me, obviously, I want a young quarterback, man, and I've been raving about this quarterback class for a long time. I just feel like there's not going to be another quarterback class like this if we go on. But also, Aiden O'Connell is somebody that, hey, he's going to come in here and fight for a spot. So, obviously, that's another option, right? For me, obviously, it just depends on the offensive coordinator. What does he want to do? What does the offensive coordinator want to do? What is his plans? And that all that we'll know those plans once he gets signed, whoever it is, and the press conference he goes through, and
yeah,
we just got to see what happens, obviously. So, um, you feel me? AP gets more time with the rookie quarterback than a vet quarterback. He does get more time with the rookie quarterback, obviously. Um, so far with Aiden O'Connell, he's had 1 year with him. And then obviously Jimmy Garoppolo and Brian Hoyer are probably gone. They're out the way, right? Open up more cap space. And at the end of the day, I think I'm surprised Brian Hoyer is still in the league. I don't know how the hell he hasn't retired yet, but it's all questions, right? Shout out to everybody in here, man. Hope all is well. If you guys can't hit that like or subscribe if you're new, man. I'm glad everybody's in here, man. The schedule's not gonna get any easier that year after. I know I haven't seen the year after, but I heard it's tough. Shout out to God. He got show enough podcast. I think we should trade back and get two first or get a closer second round pick. Get Arnold. I think that's his last name from Bama. Are you talking about the quarterback? I'm not really familiar with that. You probably have to give me the full name, in order to know that, right? Um, he said Cousins is another car. Both are mediocre and tucking in the playoffs. God damn. Uh, Drake Mayer Bo Nix 2024. So you're raving about Drake Mayer Bo Nix. Okay, interesting. Let me see if I said everybody. Let me get it down here. But jokes aside, why can't we be the team that makes the big swing? Why, as Raider fans, do we keep having this settling mentality? No, let's go get our superstar quarterback homegrown. We have to stop that. I like that too, man. Swing big. If you don't swing big, you ain't getting better. And this is what I said last year. You had the chance to swing big. There was people that got traded for pennies. Pennies. These superstars got traded for pennies. Christian McCaffrey got traded for pennies, and look where he's at. The best running back in the league, practically.
Yeah.
Pennies. We need to make a swing.
It's gonna be on Telesco to make his money, because Telesco is gonna have to make negotiate and make those moves at the time that it needs to be. You want to actually know my personal opinion, I feel like we should go and get that quarterback in the draft, but I'm trying to find other. There's plenty of ways they say there's plenty of ways to skin the cat, right? There's plenty of ways to go about building this team. So just trying to look at the other variables. Like, okay, if it didn't work out in the draft, what is our plan B? You know what I'm saying? And our plan B would actually be trying to get a veteran, or like, Eric said, and I believe it too. I think Aiden O'Connell's going to be a better quarterback next year. You know what I'm saying? I think Aiden O'Connell got his bumps and bruises this year, and I think he's gonna come back, being a better quarterback. Is he gonna be running around the field like Mike Vick? No. that ain't just gonna come out of nowhere. We know that he ain't gonna be that type of quarterback, but I think he'll be a better quarterback, and that might be another option. What jump does Aiden O'Connell take in year 2?
That's a fact, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Avoid stealing money. I'll wait till next year and get Milrow next year. Talk about the hostile quarterback, huh? Obviously there's a lot of things. You feel me? There's a lot of directions this team could go. It's a very scary, interesting one. This offseason is gonna be really telling them what direction we're going to, if it's win now or not. But I think it's win now, right? If you listen to AP, what he said, I like that he didn't pull a Josh McDaniels. And what I mean, and I'm gonna start saying a lot, right? Pulling a Josh McDaniels. Pulling a Josh McDaniels is making a lot of promises and breaking them, and bringing our expectations high. There's a reason why a lot of Raider fans were disappointed last year, because uh, they had high expectations. I didn't have high expectations. I didn't even give a record prediction. I said, hey, don't have high expectations, man, because you're gonna get let down. That's what the Raiders always do. You end up having high expectations. You're like, oh my god, we're gonna be a 12-win team, 10-win team, 11-win team, and then you get disappointed, and then you're blaming everybody. You're blaming all the players. You're saying some players bring drama. You're saying the coach is absolutely garbage. You're saying it's all because you had high expectations. So I would recommend. I've learned this in all my life, is to not have expectations no more, but do have that mentality of, hey, I want my Raiders to win. At the end of the day, we all have the same mentality in that way, right? We want the Raiders to succeed. We want the Raiders to win, but also have the mentality, hey, don't have high expectations because you're
Yeah.
gonna get let down.
I was 2 games off. I was 2 games
That's
off.
2 games off.
Yeah.
So
I had us going 10-7.
I feel that, man. But obviously, you see, people like, obviously, uh, Antonio Pierce come out and kind of say, his piece, right? And what I was saying about Antonio Pierce is, he came out and said, "Hey, our vision is pretty much get hoisting the Lombardi Trophy, winning the AFC West. That's our vision." He said that's not a promise. He said it's a vision, which is smart, because it's like he's not telling us, "Hey, I promise you guys a Lombardi Trophy next year." He's saying, "Hey, that's our vision. That's where direction we want to go in. And that's the direction we're going in." And it gives a little bit of inside scoop on how they're gonna go about it, right? Spoken like a true Trojan. Hell no, hell no. Fuck Notre Dame. I swear we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back. I've been left down for the last 40 years. I feel that, man. For me, my whole life. Rumor. I did see this earlier by Sean Johnson. Raiders leaning towards Kingsbury as OC. That it looks like all the signals are going towards him. We gotta see what happens, obviously. Um, yeah, that's the thing, and all. So we go see. Let me see if there's anything else before we head on out here. You feel me? Any final Raider news? Anything that you want to speak on, Twan?
Uh, nah. I think we're good. Raider
Okay, we're good.
wise.
Mhm. I feel
Yeah.
that. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Um, let me see. Let me see real quick. I'm getting a lot of Rams promoting the pass rusher coordinator and linebackers coach Chris Shula. That's not really do with us. Oh, here it is. The Las Vegas Raiders are leaning towards making former Arizona Cardinals head coach Cliff Kingsbury OC. Um, yeah, that's about it. That's
And he's going to have to, whoever the offense coordinator is pretty much going to have to get a whole staff. He's going to have to get a quarterbacks coach. He's going to have to get an offensive line coach. Pretty much if an offensive coordinator comes in here, he's going to have to get everything he wants. I don't know. I hope they keep our running back and and our receivers coach. I hope they keep them, but everything else is, I think, is an open spot.
But yeah, shout out to everybody, man. That's a fact. And shout out to everybody, man. He says Kingsbury's offense is not trash. His head coach mentality is ass, but not his thing. Did you already hit on Marvin Lewis being our assistant head coach? Yes, Lake Show Raider. If you want, go back in the live in the beginning. We talked about it. That was the first thing. We talked a little bit about it. But yeah, I like it. Twan likes it. It brings a head coaching mind to the table. Helps out Antonio Pierce with those little flaws that he has. They're kind of compatible. But obviously, you feel me? We're coming to an end, y'all. Twan, let them know where they could find you and what lives you got cooking up, videos cooking up.
Man, you guys, hey, look, Raider Twuan, get with it. Join the best chat in YouTube, which is the congregation. Come on over to Raider Twuan. I'm actually, let me see, let me look. Okay, I'm 19 subscribers away from 300. Okay, so if you have not, please come over to Raider Twuan and subscribe. Also, you guys, I have hit another milestone for myself. I have hit another video hitting 1K views. So this is my second video at 1K view. And I'm just happy about that and excited about that 1,000 people wanted to watch at least one of my videos. So please come over to Raider Twuan, get active, get involved. Me and SC do our thing on Thursdays, but I do a bunch of other lives. Also, tonight, special tonight, I'm going live again tonight, and we'll be talking about the Senior Bowl. That's right. We'll be discussing the Senior Bowl. That'll be at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, 10:30 Eastern time, and I will be live with the special guest, Phil Robinson from the Unfiltered Truth, and a very accomplished writer of football will be also live with me too. So you do not want to miss that. We're going to be talking about the Senior Bowl. We're going to, if you've never heard about what the Senior Bowl is about, we'll let you guys know that information and also give you guys some names that might be connected to the Raiders or guys that we think you guys should be keeping an eye out on for the upcoming game. So you can come over tonight, 7:30, watch the players that you need to watch, and then go ahead and check out my boy SC on Saturday with the Senior Bowl game. So you can get a little bit of both of us. But definitely 7:30 tonight, me, Phil, and Robertson will be doing the Senior Bowl breakdown.
And I'm glad you said that, man, because that's a good transition. One day, 20 hours, 9 minutes, 3 seconds before the Senior Bowl and counting. SC Raiders Talk will be live on 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern. It will be a 3-hour, 4-hour thing, depending on how long the game is. I will break down every player in there, the pros and cons of every player, little by little, talking about every player in there. Also, giving you the play-by-play of the Senior Bowl. And a lot of notable names in here, names like Bo Nix, names like Sam Hartman, people like Marshawn Lloyd, people like Brendan Rice, and other notable names there that are going to be a part of the Senior Bowl. Obviously, very strong players there, late round guys, second round, third round, some potential first rounders. So obviously, there's a lot of names to look at. And some other names to give you guys here, man. You feel me? I like Cam Hart from Notre Dame. If you guys don't know him, a defensive back there. Some good defensive backs in there actually. And then Latua, which I know we've been linked to him, right? He's the guy with 13 sacks from UCLA Bruins, the edge rusher. Another guy that's going to be out there as well. So there's a lot of notable names out there. So the Senior Bowl, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. And then, if you guys want to see other candidates that are like 6th round, 7th round guys, like all I said today, the Shrine Bowl, I'm not doing that one, but the Shrine Bowl today, some notable names there as well. So go check out the Shrine Bowl. It's in an hour and 8 minutes, so go check that out. But besides that, man, that's the next live I'm doing. And hopefully we have an offensive coordinator by next week so I could go live on it and I could start breaking down players that could work good in that system. But on behalf of me and Raider Twuan, man, this was another 2 for 1 Nation podcast, man. Shout out to the 50 people that stay here throughout the whole live, man. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. And we had a lot of new faces around, so it's good to see you guys, and hopefully we see you guys more. Blessings to you guys and your families. Tough times never last, but tough people do, and you guys are some tough people, man. And remember, life is too short, so always tell your loved ones you love them. And on that note, y'all, this was the end. Don't drink and drive. That's a fact, man. Don't drink and drive. And this was the SC Raiders Talk, aka your boy SC, aka your boy Eric, man, and my boy Raider Twuan, aka just Twuan. You feel me? Or Twuan in certain platforms, man. The king of brown crackers, you already know, man. Shout out to you guys, man. And we are out. Peace.
Is the will to win. Is the will to win.
Your commitment to excellence and your will to win will endure forever. You will not.